Okay, we're going to demonstrate tearing apart these clone carburetors. First, I'm going to take out the bottom screw. And show you this is the float area. Pull the pin out. Pull the float. Show you that these things have a spring right here in the float. And when you take these out, you have to be very careful not to pop the spring out or you'll lose it. They just slide right back up in, and the spring goes on the lower side between the float and the needle. Alright, next we're going to pull a jet. Tap on it a little bit, and your jet and your E-tube will fall out. This is your standard number 70 jet, which comes in them. This is your standard E-tube. Now there's a difference in the E-tubes. If you notice on this one, there's only 2 holes when you rotate it around. This one will be richer on the fuel circuit than the one with the 4 holes. I also want you to notice, compare this one I pulled out. Here's one, that's a 5 hole. This one is a 4 hole. You notice there's 3 up here and 1 near the top. This is the top part of your motion tube that goes up in the air chamber. Rotate around. This one has 3 and 1. This one has 4 and 1. 3 and 1. You got 4 and 1. Well, up here, this one has 4 holes at the top. It's a 5. There's 3 and 2. There's 3 and 3. There's several different emulsion tubes. There's a 3 and 2. 3 and 3. Here's one a little different style. Now this is just a 2 hole at the top. It has 3 and 2 all the way around the emulsion tube. These will control the amount of air fuel mixture that your carburetor has. The more holes, the 6 hole tube will be leaner. The 3-4 will be a richer mixture in the circuit. You'll notice down in the carburetor, the E-tube sticks up right there. Okay, I'm going to show you some differences in E-tubes. If you notice, this is a longer E-tube versus this one being a shorter. I'll lay the 2 E-tubes up where you can compare them. The longer E-tube will stick farther up into the Ventura and give you a better mixture of fuel and air coming through the Ventura than the shorter one. But both will work fine. Just want to show a little difference. Also, the fuel passes through the jet through the center hole of these. You notice the difference there. You got a small hole and a large hole in these. Your fuel passes through the center and your air passes around it to create air bubbles as it's coming up to help your mixture up in the Ventura of the carburetor. Idle screw out. I'm going to show you this. In this idle circuit, draws through the little hole there, through. Let me pull the idle jet out. Now this is your idle jet. It's solid from the top. You flip it upside down, there's your jet. Now you can drill these holes. It's better to keep it stock unless you're modifying the carburetor. But you drill these holes and it'll make a richer condition on an idle circuit. So if you have a stumble between idle to mid-throttle, you can drill this little hole out, which will increase the fuel and stop that stumble. You see the hole here in the side. This is where it draws through. Look right down in the carburetor. There is the hole in the side that comes from your idle screw. Look over here, there's another hole. Can you see that? Yeah, right there. It draws from this side of the carburetor. I'd suggest taking this apart at least midway through the season and take carburetor cleaner and blow them through. This let air flow into the idle circuit down through the jet to help your air fuel mixture. Then fuel is drawn through the little holes. If you can see them right back in here, when the throttle goes shut, air is pulled through here and fuel comes out those little screws for your idle. This is your idle screw on these carburetors. I want you to notice the difference of this idle screw versus this one. This is an EPA carburetor, has to meet EPA emissions. This one is a non-EPA carburetor that does not meet the emissions. These are better flowing carburetors for these little engines, but either carburetor will work fine. That's the basic on these little carburetors. Just want to show people a little bit about them. Have any questions, you can contact us. Stout Racing Engines.